And just like that, we welcome everybody. Yep, there we go. We got the sound working now. 90 seconds into the Toddy game. My apologies. Realized we weren't plugged in. Puck comes back. We're going to have a penalty here on the Tips. We're early in this game. All right, the Tips might be getting it. First of our triple header. As we're going to get a hooking call this one. Those two. We have an early penalty to number 5, Randy Curett. Puck comes back to the Tips are on the power play. Blizzard, the home team, to start this game. Puck comes up. Here's another opportunity. Back in front, just wide of the goal. Back to play to Joey and Henry. Henry around the boards. Tips will jam it out to the middle. Back for Kleeman. Kleeman will work it far side. They'll set up. Back to the middle. This does not work. They'll roll it all the way around. Puck comes back to the corner. They'll set it up. Back to the line. Another opportunity right on. This goes back. Here's Henry. Trying to pull it out of some skates. Back to the point. Tips will move it. Cross ice to Kleeman. What a beautiful touch pass. Oh, that just about eluded Pilling. Back out. Another opportunity into the middle. Van Conen just about used their size to move Michaela Robinson back to the corner now. Here's a shot. That's a left pad stop there by Louise Pilling. We'll get to the starting goalies. Louise Pilling and Anya Dito. Puck comes all the way down. And it's going to be taken back here by the Blizzard. And they'll leave it there for Logan Mask. Mask puts up the ice. They'll send it through the seam. It's just not back in. Now they flip it all the way across. And all the way back into the middle. Hammered back in by McDonald. Sound is now working. Our apologies for the first part of this game. We did not have sound. Puck comes all the way back. Here's that near side corner. Tumpty's in the zone there. The Blizzard cleared the zone because they were offside. And it's a lot of Tips to dump it all the way down. 16 and a half to go in the first period. We have ourselves a scoreless game. The Blizzard on the power play for another 2 seconds here. They come back in front. This does not work. Now they flip it back to the corner. And they'll set up looking. Here's McDonald. McDonald off the wing. Drives it far side. And this will not play up the board. Trying to play this out in front. Back to the corner. Sends it in front right on. Nice opportunity. I think there by Graham. Moves it in off the rush. Great forecheck. 2-2 the shot on net. 15:50 remaining here in this opening period. Michael Dale lost that Cat Erickson. Up the wall here, Maggie Meta batting up. The Tips are a lot tighter defensively than they've been in some time here. And it would be probably and was one of the reasons why they won that last game that they played. Is we're now joined by Cat Erickson. Puck comes back. Now they play it across. This does not work. And it's going to rip all the way back over, and it's going to be a tip puck. And they'll shoot this out to the middle. Nothing there, back to the front. Is it taken along the back wall there? And it's going to be flipped all the way down. Zipped at it. Now behind the net, here's Brooklyn Riley. Back to play it. They'll wait for it. Now they settle with cross ice. Oh, what a jam job off the skate. And Louise Pilling got a piece of it. Slides it back to the point. Up the wall, here's Croswell. She had 2 goals. And it's going to be flipped all the way across. Big opportunity. This is going to work for Bryn Schmidt. Schmidt in the corner. Tries to send it back in front. Nothing there, and they'll flip it up the ice here. The steal. Right back out. Great job there. Joplin is involved. Now trying to go with Casey Pruffin. And here come the Tips, and they'll nail this out into the zone behind Anya Dito. Back to the corner. We are scoreless. No running time on our graphic today, but we will have scores for you. And the icing is waved off. Now the puck comes into the corner. They'll center it. As it's left, as it's rolled back to the corner. Now it's played out front. Here's a shot that gets chipped away. And they'll flip this out, working at it, back to the blue line. Here's this chance to roll it around the wall to share with Duncan. Duncan back to the corner there for Medoff. They're trying to work down low. Medoff tries to pull it out of some skates. That doesn't work. Skating after this quickly up to the middle there with Oakley. And this is going to be played all the way around. Laninga up the seam trying to make something work. Now this roll back. Here's Oakley. Nothing there though. Stutter step it and it comes out to center. It's going to be left there quickly. It's just in the neutral zone. Big opportunity. Up the window here for Medoff. Medoff moving in. This did not work. Great defensive play there by Brooklyn Riley. Puck comes back to the slot. Chance right on. Oh, the puck squirts wide. Another shot. Oh, what a save by Tilling. It's going to be an opportunity here with 12:50 to go already in this opening period. And we have ourselves no score. Puck comes up front across the ice. Celtic Steelers hockey tonight on the main Mike FM channel. Here they come off the wall. Arnold back in the Blizzard will control it in Tyra Penner. Back up behind the goal. This does not work. And they'll flip it. Here's a steal. Right back in. Julian Henry on the breakaway. They score. That was about the easiest detail of a goal that we're going to see in some time. And it's going to be 1-0 on the goal by Jillian Henry. And she just undressed Larice Pilling, made one move and snuck it. Not really with a move. Now they play it around. 12:10 to go, so Julian Henry scored. Justin Patsy back. Timekeeping these 3 games here this weekend. Now it comes up the boards. Here off the wall, Croswell. Croswell moving in. Croswell, that doesn't work. Back out again. So Blizzard open the scoring. And it's going to be offside. Don't we have a penalty coming up? It's going to be boarding. And it's going to go to Autumn DeGrave. Blizzard will get the power play again, Cat. Faceoff comes to the point. Here's Julian Henry. She got the 1 goal. 5-on-5. Now they slide it around. Puck comes back in front. And that does not work. Quickly out to center. Back cross ice. So we got the penalty. Autumn DeGrave for Borden. Here's Van Tonen. Van Tonen up for Henry. Henry buzzing into the zone. Julian Henry waiting. Looking. Back to the point. Here's Kleeman right on. They're trying to make that work, but it's blocked. Laninja trying to poke it out. Now they poke at it. Back quickly, another chance in front. And it does not satisfy the need of a opportunity. And the shot comes right in from Kleeman on Pilling. And Cat, it's an early, let's get everything at the net kind of scenario.
Yeah, the girls definitely, that's the only way to score, right? So they're definitely taking advantage of the fact that they can put things towards the net.
Back to the wall. 11:07 to go, 1-0. Julian Henry had the game's only goal. There's been other opportunities. And the tips will get this out to center. Here's Duncan. Duncan back to get it. Here is going to be Brooklyn Riley. That's out now for Alex Tosh, and this goes all the way down in behind the Blizzard net on the penalty kill. 50 seconds. Puck comes back up. They'll send us all the way across and back. D to D. Van Tonen's there to pick it up. That goes back across ice. They'll work at it. And this is going to send it all the way ping pong inside the blue line. Here's Van Tonen. Sends it across. Mask. Gets it back now for Maddox. That's blocked. Here's Ross trying to get it out, but her teammate beats her to the puck, and I don't think the Tips mind that because the puck goes all the way out. Halfway through the first period, 9:50 to go, 1-0 on the goal by Joey and Henry. Puck comes up the window. Here's Ashley Ross. Ross moves it in. Waits for it. Opportunity shot. That is going to be taken there by Dito. And there's going to be a whistle to her right, and one of the rare face-offs that happens at least to start this game under the in the zone to our left. Puck comes back in front again. Now that'll work. Sends it back across. Brent Schmidt at the point. Trying to wait for it. There's been 2 penalties, both to the Tips in this early going. Randy Curett has to quickly angle out. Puck goes in front of Pilling, and that goes back. So the Blizzard definitely on the puck at least early. Here's going to be Penner trying to throw this in front, and Penner will be the first behind the net. Brent Schmidt drives it back up the seam. Trying to work this down over center. Nice job over the blue line. They'll send it in. Shot to the net. That's stopped by Dito. And the puck will roll back out to the middle here for DeGrave. DeGrave has to work around Joplin. Gets the pass to Brooklyn Riley. She gets run into there by Joey and Henry. 2-on-2 in the corner as they work it. Puck comes across. And it's going to go back for... Here's Robinson. Robinson back to the backhand. A shot. And that's going to be stopped. And that's a pretty good confidence builder because the last time we saw that, we saw Mateo go into the goal post and leave the game with an injury to only come back last game. So that drive will give her some confidence. Puck comes back and it's going to go cross ice for Brooklyn Riley. Riley has Mateo Robinson with her. Can't get it a puck now. It's kind of died halfway at the middle of the ice between the 2 defensemen. And the puck is going to come back. Back in front. This will knock it away. And it's going to work it back in now. They'll go cross ice. Here's Logan Mask. Has to work around out of the grave. Here's a steal. Robinson goes cross ice. That was a quick dump. She'll get it back. Settle it in on this side of center. Just dump it in and go off on the line change. 7:45 to go. Here's the quick opportunity. And a steal on the backhand. Was that Leninda or maybe Ross? And Tito will make the stop. You see who that was? Was that 16 there, Kat?
The one that's
just drove that puck
towards
to
us. 18.
18, Leninda, okay. At the center ice position. She'll lose the draw, will Jillian. And the puck will send it across. Here's the steal. Christine Oakley right back into the zone. Tips have settled in after the 2 penalties and the early goal by Jillian Henry, which I don't think was Louise Cohen's fault. It was a giveaway and a breakaway for Jillian Henry. Puck comes back. Here's Tumsky trying to battle with it. One of the Tip players just knocked over. Now they'll work at it and behind the goal. Could be Polanski up the boards. Blizzard playing with 5D tonight. And they have Prefnitz up front. So based on the line configuration that I can see off the top of my head, it looks like 9 forwards and 5D. Puck comes all the way down. And then 2 goalies with Dieto starting. The only one missing today for the Tips is Roy Hillis. Roy Hillis. Puck comes back out. Here's a chance. Joplin waits for it, and that's not going to get very far. Just inside the center. The Blizzard will dump it down to Van Tonen. 6:15 remaining in this opening period. We have a 1-0 game on the goal by Julian Henry. Puck comes back across, and here comes McDonald. Heidi McDonald trying to work her way around. I believe this might be Olse. No, that's going to be Joplin back in the corner there. They'll set it up now, and Puffinett will go back. She'll make the breakout, and now it's Tosh back. Tosh waiting for it. Cross ice up the ice, and it's going to be intercepted and dumped right back in by Mast. Waiting for it. There's Graham behind. Graham will shoot it halfway up the wall. That's going to stop with the Tips, and now they'll get this out to center. Hammered in. Ross. I don't know why the Tips are content to play dump and chase down by 1. They're not getting pucks in deep. They're content to just get the puck out and then shoot it in, which I don't understand. Back out. Now they work at it. Here's a chance in front, back to the line. Sends it in front, another opportunity that is blocked. And here they come off the wall. They'll hammer it out. And it's going to be taken just in front of the Tip bench. You gotta watch for too many players in the ice, and the puck will come back out. Here's that long play. Fernie now trying to give chase to the puck, but the Blizzard will send it right back in. Blizzard will play this game all afternoon long because there's no imminent threat to Anya Dieto in the net. Puck comes back out as it's going to be controlled. Now they send us across, and puck will come back out. Now they wait for it. Here's that steal, which is not working at this point in time. 4:16 remaining in this opening period. Puck will come back in front, and it's going to be chipped up. Waiting for it is a play there by the Grave. Works at it. Here's Medoff. Medoff for Brooklyn Riley. Riley behind the net. Trying to get it out with some authority. Cross ice. Tips appear to be a little bit crossed up, and they can't get the puck out of their own zone. Up the wall, here's the break, and it's going to go back into the corner as it bounces off the stick of McKenna Riley. Puck comes back across, and Graham will move in from her position, be covered up by Croswell at the point. Back to the wall now, and this is going to be taken by the Blizzard. Blizzard out to center. They'll have to make something work. Puck comes all the way down, and back to get this. It looks like Graham goes cross ice. Puck never ends up getting to her, and the Tips have a chance to get it out. Here's the 2-on-3, and I'll send it in with Croswell. Croswell going in. She's trying to shake the puck loose. Nothing there. Trying to have an opportunity. Sends it back up the wall. Here's Ross. Giving chase there by Puffinett. She gets her stick down, and Puffinett gets it back. Quickly stolen. Here's this opportunity now for Bryn Schmidt in the zone. Schmidt around the net, trying to make something happen. On the wraparound, just like Bobby Orr, drops it off. Although she didn't do the end-to-end rush like Bobby's done so many times. And the puck comes back out. Here's Puffinett. Puffinett will jam it in. This is going to be an interesting situation. Oh, that looked offside from here. And Pilling will grab it. Oh, man. I think they missed an offside there. A little bit there, Cat. But nonetheless, no harm, no foul. Face off to the right. They'll have a chance. Just looking at it all the way around. Michael Dale alongside Cat Erickson. We are in the first game of 3 today. The puck comes across, shot. That's going to be taken right in front of the goal again. Blizzard will work for it in the offensive zone. 1:49 remaining in its opening period. Shot right to the net. Rebound off the board. And Pilling will stay in the net to make sure that doesn't elude her. Back up in front again. Trying to play this cross ice. Another shot. Oh, I don't know if she saw that one. That went to the right angle at the last minute. Back in now. Here's the shot to foot that they score. That whole thing was a disaster right from the start in the defensive zone with a fire drill. And they get the shot that just goes through.
Pilling saved like, it says 11, but theirs must have been probably 30 that have either gone close to her or just wide for sure.
Joplin will ain't get this one.
Number 10.
Yeah. And the 11th shot of the period. It certainly feels like more, but again, they're going wide. Now it goes Bassel. Joplin with the goal. So Henry and Joplin have the goal. Blizzard lead 2-0. Your Dana Poulton sends this cross ice back in. And now play it around with a minute left. Back out to the corner. Here's a chance again now. Dip Brooklyn Riley. Up from McKenna Riley, and the puck comes back for Joey and Henry. We're in the final minute of the opening period. 2-0 in the score though. Send this back across. All the way around. And it's going to go and be left there. Drives it back door. Chance in front. Oh, Pilling didn't know where it was. Now they have a chance here. 30 seconds left in this period. Back to the corner. And it's going to be puck shot down. No icing. Up the window, here's the steal. And it's not going to really matter. There's 8 seconds left in the period. They'll try to throw it in front. And that's going to do it. Joey and Henry and Madison Joplin have the goal. 11 shots to 5 in that opening period for the Blizzard. And we have a score of 2-0. And we'll go to the second right after this. You're watching on Game Time TV. We'll be back with the second in just a bit. All right, the second period about to get going. Michael Dale, Chad Erickson, the rest of our broadcast team. You're on Game Time TV. And we are going to have 2 goals in that opening period. We're going to have goals by Jillian Henry and Madison Joplin, and the second period is nicely underway. Puck comes back in, now played around the boards. Michael Dale cat out so that the puck comes back across. Now they send it back in. Here's Logan Mass back to get it. Waits for it behind the net. Big collision there. Tyra Penner had to turn around. Now it goes back around here for Kleeman. Kleeman up the wall. Bryn Schmidt's trying to hold it in. Bryn Schmidt back for Taylor Croswell. Right back in. Now this does not work. And it's just going to come back down. Icing will be the call. And there'll be 19:16 remaining in the second period. Face-off comes to the right, and it's won and possessed by the Tips. Back in front. Here's the shot right out in front. Oh, ultimately shot just about a little Dino wraparound. Oh, she fired it just wide. In one side, out the other. Back to the corner. It's like that pep talk or whatever they had. More because we've seen more zone pressure in the first minute from the Tips than we did the whole first period. Puck comes up. Here's Medoff. Medoff around the wall. Now they play it cross ice. Sends it back off the wall. Here's Oakley. Oakley moving in. Glove down by Anya Dino. Michael Dale alongside Chad Erickson. We have a shout out that is going to be coming up. Not right now. We'll wait a little bit. Keep people in suspense. 18-24. Or 34, sorry, remaining in this second period. Puck comes back around. Now play it back to the corner. Toss it there. Drop on the goal scorer. Has it in the defensive zone for the Blizzard. Blizzard all of a sudden having to play in the defensive zone a little more. Up the wall, here's Profinet. Profinet has to deal with Alex Tosh. Tosh will play this around. She'll slide it. Now they drive it around the wall. The tips come in at 4 and 14. While the Blizzard come in tonight at 13 and 8. Puck comes across. Now they have a chance. That's not trying to slight one team or another. That's stating facts. Puck comes across here for Leslie up the window. And a pass that didn't go too far. That's going to be icing, and we can give our shout out now. And here is Kat Erickson.
All right, so we have a big special shout out going to Jeff and Lisa watching all the way from Palm Springs. Thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying it.
I'm told you're watching the game on your TV, so not sure if that's accurate, but that's what I was told. Anyway, we are
power of technology.
We are compatible, by the way, with TVs that have internet browsers. By the way, puck comes down. Here's the opportunity just inside the blue line, and there'll be some more stuff coming out, probably toward the off season, maybe toward the playoffs as well. 17-14 remaining. We gotta get some stuff up and working. Here's Laura Wood, right in off the rush. Here's Shaywa Dunton. Dunton drops it off. Blizzard moving in, right back out in front on the backhand. That doesn't work. Now they send it cross ice. Working another shot that stopped. Blocked halfway down. Tips will get this out. This should be another icing call. And that's going to be another icing call. Again, we get back to this not skating game, but the tips seem to be employing. Setting up in behind the hash marks, and that's it.
Tips will be going on the power play.
And yeah, they did call a penalty. That there's another Blizzard power play coming up. Actually, no, they have it on the wrong side. It's a Blizzard penalty, sorry to drop when you're right. It's going to be a tip power play. Here comes Dana Poulton trying to drive through the net. And it's knocked down Michaela Robinson. Robinson lets no worse for wear. Now they're short-handed. They're going to set up. Here's the shot that's tipped away by Pilling. Minute 35 remaining in the penalty, which is to Madison Joplin. And there was short-handed opportunities by the Blizzard there. Puck comes across. Now they set it in. Wood trying to make something happen. This is way too easily dumped down the ice. Up the window. Uh-oh. Not going to hit a skate. This might be too many players on the ice. Or offside. I may have dodged a bullet there because I do not see the door opening.
They're going to call it offside and rock with it.
Yeah, because that hit a player's skate as she was getting onto the bench. Here's Madot. Madot from Selkirk will play this puck around. Speaking of Selkirk, on our radio station tonight, we'll have the Dauphin Kings and the Selkirk Steelers. That will come up 7:25 with Bill Christensen to make his return to the broadcast booth. Puck comes back. There's a chance for 15:37 back for Brooklyn Riley. And a puck comes all the way down the ice. Not a whole lot of power play pressure. 40 seconds left in it, almost none. As it comes back through the seam. Trying to control. And it's going to have an opportunity. Sends it off to the corner now here for Brooklyn Riley. Back for the Grave. Right back in front for Brooklyn Riley. Back for Crowswell. Crowswell in the slot trying to work around. He still set at the point for Fernie. Nice power play pressure. And they'll set up middle of the slot. Off the back door. Setting up. Here's a one-time cannon. And Dito will make the stop. Now they work for it. They'll set it up middle of the slot. Where was this about a minute and a half ago when the power play started? Back in front here, Gito, and all of a sudden, 2 big saves into the power play comes to an end. 12-5 the shot. I would expect one more to be added in short order. 14:37 remaining, or 47. I'm always 10 seconds ahead in my head for whatever reason. You know what the numbers are in your head, but the wrong number comes out of your mouth. That's kind of the scenario. Fernie has it roll past her. Here's Joplin. She's got the 2-0 goal. Joey and Henry has your game opening goal up for Casey Preffinich, up the window for Joplin. Joplin will wheel into the corner. They'll set up here with 14.5 to go in this second period. 2-0 is the score. The puck comes back across. Sends it in here. The shot that's tipped away by Anya Gito. That's going to work at it. Now back out. And they're trying to stutter step, and there's a lot more neutral zone play. Delayed offside, so the Tips cannot touch it. Back up the boards. Here's that long play there. That was back for Leslie. Leslie had to help get out of her own zone. Here's Van Konen. Van Konen around the wall, trying to play this up bottom of the faceoff. Can't move it in. Now there's a lot of pressure in the offensive zone for the Tips. Just no shots on net. And a puck comes all the way down. Icing will be waved off as it dies before the end line. 13:35 to go here in this second period. It is 2-0 for the Manitoba Blizzard. Welcome from Palm Springs to the Dominican Republic, where I know there's people watching all over. We hear from people that are either snowbirds or on vacation somewhere in much warmer climate, although I admit I just about took my shorts out of the drawer because it is about -1 here today with very nice weather for January, or I guess February 1st. We are in February now. First game of February. Puck comes across. Now they'll shoot it all the way back. Here's Laninga overskating it. Well, summer's not quite here yet. Puck comes down. One thing we do know, playoffs are this month. They start on the 26th, or actually the 27th of this month. And they'll go 26th, 27. Here's Polton. Polton moves in. She's got a breakaway. Polton on the backhand, and Pilly makes the stop. So they start on Wednesday. Here's Robinson back in her own zone, trying to make something happen. Oh man, that had to be nightmares coming back as she went crashing to the board. At least one thing that makes it certain is that that can happen, and the puck goes right through Pilwin's legs and in the back of the goal. Robinson was late getting back into the play because I'm sorry to say it again, but I think that's one she should have had.
I think she would agree with you.
Sorry?
She would probably agree with you.
Well, just the look on her face, right? Got it down here. It is the 3-0 game, but at some point you need your goalie to make the save for you if you're going to come back in this game at all. Puck comes back across, and I'm not trying to save it. That's Clarice's fault all the way around, but eventually saves do need to be made. Puck comes across. Because if you're fishing the puck out more than you're putting the puck in the net, that's not going to be conducive score-wise. And there was a big collision. Some of the grandstand officials wanting a penalty. I don't think there should have been one now. That looked a little worse than I think it was. Now they drive it up the seam. Michael Gill, Chad Erickson from balmy Bell Empty at the ice putt where it is warm outside. That's about the best way to put it on February the 1st. 3-0 the score. We have 2 more games coming up tonight. It's going to be the Stars and the Owls up next at 5 o'clock. And then we're going to have and we'll see what happens. Face-off will come to the right of Manitoba. Drives it around. Trying to control this again. Back to the blue line. Now work at Brooklyn Riley. Drives it back door. Who they work for? Cracked ice. This does not work. Now along the back window. And it's going to come out. There's that quick opportunity. Brooklyn Riley sends it in. Shoots it all the way back in, but there's no forecheck. Now they did it back to the blue line. There's a little bit of a cycle. The drive down low. Here's a shot. Crowdwell in front. They score! No goal. Oh dear. I was saying no goal. I don't know if we got an angle of it can tell you definitively without rewinding the tape, but they're going to say no goal. No goal. All right, so they'll try it again. Back to the wall. Here it is, still a 3-0 game. They'll set it up back in front. That's gonna roll back. Great save by Dito. 9:50 to go. Here's a chance out front. They'll work for it now. Left behind the net is Crowswell. Crowswell will work at it. Trying to chip at it. Great play back. Sends it out front. Now they got this cycle going here in the last 2 shifts, including that goal that may or may not have went in. But here's Tyra Penner coming the other way. They score. Wow. Sorry, I'm just dumbfounded. You have all the pressure in the world to your right. You may or may not have scored a goal, and you let that puck come all the way down, and Tyra Penner will make this 4-0.
Sometimes when you're trying your hardest like this, there's too many people in the offensive zone, and then one quick puck back.
Yeah.
And you're leaving your goalie stranded.
If that is not the epitome, I don't have an opportunity. Trying to play this craft ice. This goes off to the corner now. 4-0 Blizzard in the lead. Remember, this could, in theory, be a first-round playoff matchup. There's going to be an opportunity. Trying to have an opportunity here to the delayed offside. $8:54 to go here, and I'm surprised. I really thought I was going to see a really good effort after that last game that the Tips played. And seems to be reverting back to what it was on the losing streak of 9 games, which is unfortunate. Here's Van Conen. I know they're working hard as a team to get out of it. Now they come back toward the corner. Again, you have that goal taken away from you, whether it went in or not, only to have it basically come 200 feet the other way down on you, and you give up a goal, and it's 4-0. Back to the corner. Here's a shot that's stopped by Pilly. Another one gets blocked before it gets through. Now it goes off the window. Now to the corner. Back for Dana Poulton. Poulton trying to work it. Now they play it around the net. Nothing there just before 4 o'clock. Coming up here on 4 o'clock Central. The net game will be at 5 o'clock between the Owls and the Stars. I'll come back over, nothing there. 7.5 to go here in the second period. Trying to play this all the way down. And it's going to be Polanski back to get it. Lefty Polanski trying to work at it. And this comes all the way down. That's going to be, should be icing, and it is Amelia Martin, I think that is it. Went back for it. Nope, that's Amelia Martin. Number 7. I may have mixed up her and Astrid Graham a couple times in the first period. Puck comes back in, there's nothing there. Plays it across. Now they work for it, and there's a stand up at the blue line. Oakley back to get it. Now work at it. Trying to drive it, here's Schmidt. Schmidt bats off after she can't get the puck off the stick of the Blizzard, and now here they come off the wall at the 2-on-1. Trying to make something happen. Oakley going to the net. Flips it into the corner. They'll wait for it. Now they'll play it off the back window. And it's going to drive in. Drives it back out here. The shot that's to be chipped wide. Now they control. A lot of neutral zone stuff here in the last 5 minutes. Dropping back to Medoff. Medoff right on. What a nice pass through the back door that didn't quite connect. Nothing there as they work it around. Comes back to the slot. And they'll play it around here. Kumsky's in the corner. Tries to control. Sends it off the glass. Working at it. Oh, nice play there. I think that was Laura Wood. Trying to make something happen. Up the window. Trying to play this out here with a partial break. Defenseman got turned around. And that was Olsen back out. Big collision there, no call. Blizzard coach is wanting a penalty. I don't think they're going to get one. Oh, they are going to get one. It was called by our back referee. And now I think you're in a situation of Tips players trying to do too much. Trying to make up 4 goals in
25 minutes.
Well, you're trying to make up 4 goals with 1 shot, which is not possible. You have to kind of settle down. You got to, first off, kill off his penalty, Laura Wood, for body contact. Blizzard on the power play, they'll send it back out in front of the sent down the ice. You know, if there was no icing in this game, and the Tips could dump and chase it all night long, they would be okay. But the problem is they're being caught right now because for large portions of this game, they haven't been skating. Back again, as is the problem in the first period, is they played a half a sheet of ice of hockey and, you know, get it out to the line, dump it in. That only goes so far as trying to defend rather than, you know, trying to get your team on the board. Back on the power play, 4.5 to go. It's just the harsh reality. Shot goes wide of the net. Now behind the net, here's Kleeman. Back out in front. That's not going to work. Now Pilling gives a little bit of a whop to one of the Blizzard. She's showing some frustration.
The Blizzard had 3 or 2 for sure players in front of the net there. So the moment someone shot, there's an automatic rebound.
Sheila, I don't understand how 2 people are in front of the net with an equal opportunity. Someone blew an assignment somewhere along the line. Humsty in the corner. Works it back to the point. Here's a chance again. They'll swing it back to work on the power play. Mind you, there's an extra skater out there for the Blizzard, so you have to be confident of where that extra skater is. Here's a shot. That's going to be stopped now behind the net. And Comsty trying to get it from the penalty killer and does. These penalty killers are not even really moving their feet now. That's not going to help as the puck comes back out, and that's going to be offside. You know, it's hockey's the thing. You need to move your feet for 60 minutes. You need to not take penalties. You need some luck as far as power play goals go. And if a few of those functions aren't working for you, you're not going to have an awful lot of success on a given day. That goes for any team. But there's still about 23 minutes to right this ship and at least send some kind of momentum for the next game. Blizzard are just content with playing this game all afternoon. Now we did a whistle. Laura Wood comes out of the penalty box. And we'll have another face-off to the right of Pilling. Now they have an opportunity. Trying to play it back out. Drives it in. They'll play it all the way down. Back behind the goal. Now they have an opportunity as it's back into the zone. Now they work for it. At 19-8, the shot on net. Trying to play this back. Here's the rush. Crowswell goes back to get it. Crowswell in behind the net. I'll tell you what, it would do this team a world of wonder to get one goal. One goal before the end of the period here. Give yourself a chance in the third period. Puck comes up the ice. This is swatted. Now they have an opportunity here for Crowswell. She can't make anything happen. Martin sends it around. Works it up the seam. Martin knocks it down. This goes behind the goal. Grinschmidt working at it. Nothing there again. Trying to work at it again. Back halfway. Under 2 to go here. This middle period. 4-0 to score. This comes back across. Here comes Dana Poulton. Poulton moving in. Poulton goes cross ice. What a great drop pass. And Pilly makes a nice stop. Not been entirely on her tonight either. It's 90 seconds left. It's a combination of things. The Blizzard, they come at you in waves. Casey Prepinett has joined, Casey Prepinett has joined this team right before Christmas, and it's just added another dimension to their forward group, which is already amongst top in the league, and the defense has been around for a while as far as experience goes, and the young lady in net has had an excellent rookie season in Anya Guido, and there's another one on Pilling, and she'll make the stop. 50.3.
They need to clear their zone.
So, and then you got the overage goaltender in Sydney Irwin, who probably in 5 years this would be her best chance at a championship. Blizzard had that little bit of a funk in the middle of the year, which is kind of taking them out of the running for first place. They only have a couple more regular season games left. I think they're going to play game 21 today. Puck comes across, so there's 3 more. Puck comes now around the wall. They have 1 more next weekend, or actually 2 next weekend, and then they have 1 on the last day of the season. And that's going to come up the ice. Drives it in. That's here for Robinson. Robinson right back in. Robinson right back to the corner. Trying to play this cross ice. 3 seconds left in the period. That's going to do it. And mercifully, because there would have been another breakaway had there been any instance of time remaining. And the Tips will make their way off the ice. Tyra Penner has one of the goals. Made it 4-0. I forget who had the 3-0 goal. Will come back to me here. Zaprafinic?
That sounds familiar.
I cannot remember. I'll have to look. I'll ask JP during the intermission. It's 4-0 after 2 periods. We'll be back with a third on Game Time TV in just a minute. All right. Basically a double intermission, I guess you could call it. Welcome back. Third period about to start. And some of the Tips fans have changed positions in the arena for whatever reason. 4-0 to score, the Blizzard in front. And they'll go right back to work in the offensive zone. Now they have an opportunity, as it's going to be back for Lexi Polanski, back to get in behind her own goal. Anya Dieto in the net to my left. Louise Pilling in the net to my right. What kind of bag of tricks do the Tips have up their sleeve? As everybody seems to be filing in at the last minute. They realized the puck is down and they decided time to go take the seat after sitting down below and outside for a while. Now I have an opportunity here into the zone. We're in the third period, 1 minute gone. Our next game will come up immediately following this game. Puck comes back to cross. They'll shoot it all the way down. Now they work for it here in a 4-0 game. As it's going to be right in on the goal and grabbed by Pilling. 18:44 remaining in the regulation. Timekeeper today is Justin Passy. We'll be a little bit running behind, I think. I don't believe that you can finish this game in under a half an hour and get the next game on the ice as we have another microphone malfunction. Puck comes back across as it's rolled back. Okay, we have that fixed. Here they come off the window. It's going to be Penner off the... Actually, that's not Penner. That's Olsen right on. And that's going to go back in behind the net. Another opportunity here. The shot that's fired wide of the goal. Third period just underway. 4-0 to score. And we have goals. Joey and Henry. And Joey and Henry and I forget now. Joey and Henry and Madison Joplin have the 2-0 goals. And then it was number 9, Lexi Polanski with the goal with Lexi Polanski from Joey and Henry, and then Tyra Penner from Maddie Maddock, and Shaywa Duncan. So that is 4 different goal scorers. Henry, Joplin, Polanski, and Penner. That is where we sit officially thanks to our timekeeper, Justin Passy. Puck comes across, and they'll work for it again. Now back in front. And there's going to be play back behind the net. 15, just under 16:45 to go here in the third period. Long play, puck comes across, breaking in, nice save there by Pilling. And I believe that was Joplin that had that opportunity. Now she goes back to the front of the net, nothing there. And they'll work it up the seam. Trying to play this off the back window. And it's going to come back. Big opportunity. Icing will be the call here again on the Blizzard. Or on the Tips, pardon me, and they'll do the face-off to the right of Pilling. We will have ourselves a face-off to the right of Pilling. It is one. Another shot right on by the Blizzard. Stopped by Pilling, who has certainly settled into this game. 4 goals on 25 shots. Not overly successful, but not overly, what's the polite word? Not overly bad either on both accounts. When your offensive output is only 10 shots and no goals. Puck comes in here with a shot. It could be a lot worse. Puck gets shot wide. I still think the best chance the Tips had in this game was that Mateo Robinson rush in the first period. Other than that, it's been mostly from the outside. Here's Martin. I'll send it in. Back across. Here's this opportunity that's rolled around the boards. Nothing there. Back to the seam. Here's Martin. A shot. Amelia Martin right on. That stopped by Dito. Puck comes back across. That was a good scoring chance too. In tight. As they'll work across ice. Now they
both timekeepers, right?
What?
You know both timekeepers, right? You know both those guys?
The what? Touch me. I can't hear you. Back out. Dave Benedictson trying to communicate something to me. As it's going to be back out. They'll work at it. And that's going to be offside here, Kat. Yep. Trying to get an opportunity. Here they have a chance. Back in. Trying to semicircle it. Back into the zone. Now they work for it. And this comes back across. Now they have a chance again. In tight. Apparently they're missing the putt, and they're using a putt that the official had. That was what was tried to be explained to me. Putt comes down. 13:30 to go here in the third period. We have a chance for Crowswell, gives it up. Now they wait for it. Oh, great opportunity there. As Polanski goes in off the rush. Now they wait for it, and that's grabbed by Pilling. 26-11. Now they have a chance. Now we have a putt as it comes across. So the case of the missing putts, which made sense to pregame there were none. I don't know how the teams warmed up, but teams must have had their practice putts probably. 12:49. Now they worked it up the seam. Here's a shot that's going to be stopped just wide. Here's another opportunity, point blank by McKenna Riley, and that does not work. 12.5 left to go. Puck comes across. Here's that opportunity right on top of the left wing. Done a breakaway from the blue line in, and that's a nice save there by Louise Pilling. Another nice save by the goaltender. Now they worked it around. Trying to work this backdoor chance in front. Another opportunistic opportunity. Throws wall. Back to the line. Can't get it out. Blizzard worked it around. Up for Joplin. Right back in front, and that will come back out. Here's Van Tonen. Back to get it. Leslie tips it in. Schmidt back out. Now they have a chance here for Oakley. Oakley plays it off the window. Now they have a chance again. It's going to work at it. Drives it back door. Opportunity again. That's not going to work. Sends it cross ice, and it's going to come up the seam. Chance on a long play, cross ice. They'll work at it. Works it. Here's a shot that's not going to work. Back to cross here with 11 minutes remaining. Here in the third period, Henry up the window here for Poulton. That shot goes over top. Now they play it around. Here's a chance. Poulton right on that. Misfired. 10:44 left here, regulation time. They might make up time actually, but it's flipped down. There's not an awful lot of whistles here in the third period. Puck up the seam. I'll send it in. It goes off the side of the net. Super Bowl is tomorrow, so there's no lead games. Back in action Thursday night. Busy weekend. Next weekend on both radio and on Game Time TV. We'll have a schedule for you on Monday. Trying to work at it down to the corner. They'll see miss. Full steam ahead. Out of the zone behind the net. Trying to shimmy it back. Taken there by Duncan. Olsen there. Goes back across. Trying to settle this in front here for Maddox. Maddox moves in. Maddox just about gave Brooklyn Riley a forearm shiver, which would have ignited some feeling. Go back door. That was just tipped wide. 9:36 to go here in the third period. Blizzard working it around. Chance to the corner. Here's Maddox. Works it back for Mask. Mask will work it around. She's going to get a penalty for dumping Alex Tosh with a cross check. Might be the easiest call in the evening for the officials to make, or the afternoon. .9:18 remaining. So it's going to be a penalty now to Logan Mask. And a puck comes all the way around. Goes behind the goal. Up the seam, they'll look for it. They'll send this all the way around. We'll go on the other game time feed as soon as this other game is done here in the last 8:50. Puck comes out. Brent Schmidt can't handle it. Up the seam now. Trying to work it there, that's Graham. And they cannot keep it in. Here's Joplin. Joplin, oh boy, just about short-handed, can't make that happen. Schmidt had to do a ballerina to make sure that did not end up in the net short-handed. Now they work for it again. Opportunity. We have some NHL afternoon scores, which we'll get to. Here's a shot, Joplin right on the rebound. Trying to be shoved between the 5-0 of Louise Pillin, no goal. Vancouver beats the Islanders 4-3 in overtime. The Sabres beat the Jackets in overtime. Montreal has an afternoon game with Florida. They win 4-0. Vancouver makes their way to Carolina tomorrow. Montreal hosts Columbus. Montreal had their famous Super Bowl weekend back-to-back matinees. Here's Robinson right on the shot. That's stopped by Dito. Played back in front. 30 seconds left. Back to the corner. Long play. Here they come around at Julian Henry. Short-handed Henry. Trying to make something happen. Back out in front. That's knocked off his skate. And they'll drive this back door. Trying to play it to Dana Poulton. Overskated. Here come the tips. Croswell. Into the corner. Back out in front. That doesn't work. Another shot. And that's going to be stopped and held by Anya Dito. Tips have certainly settled down, but the score just kind of let it to be like that. Faceoff will be to the right. Here's a shot that tipped away. Jets in action tonight, an hour and a half from now. And this is going to be an icing call again. Michael Gill, Kat Erickson flying solo here. Kat, your mic is now on. Now they drive this cross ice. Out to the corner, another shot right on that, tipped away. Looks like the Edmonton Pandas will take on the St. Mary's Academy Flames in the Women's Sports School Challenge gold medal game at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the Admirals will take on an opponent for Pickett Edge for bronze. 6:25. Admirals and St. Mary's put a good game on this morning. Game that started at 11 o'clock. 6:23 to go here in the third period. 4-0 to score. Now they work for cross ice, knocked away. They'll send it in front, that doesn't work. Back to the line. Trying to drive it here with 6:08 remaining. Works it back door, shot. That is going to work it as the Ninja goes back. Now behind the net quickly out front. Up the seam, they'll send it in, that doesn't work. Here's Brooklyn Riley. Riley works for it. Down off the seam. This would be potentially one of 3 broadcasted triple headers this year. The second one will be on the third day of the playoffs. All the quarterfinal game 2s are back-to-back-to-back, starting at 4 o'clock in a couple of weeks. And then there would be back-to-back-to-back on the Sunday. There's another plot. Finds its way past Louise Pilling. 45-0 goal. See who they give credit to. 5:22 to go. Then immediately following this game, we're going to open up the other broadcast window for the second game of our doubleheader. Stephanie Leslie gets this one, so make that 5 different goal scorers. The Blizzard are going to be a tough out playing like this. A team that's deep, scoring, has found a way to do a lot of things right. Back in front, now they settle it. They'll work at it, that does not work again. Back to the corner. They'll bounce it. Trying to play this all the way down. Trying to work it. Here's the steal. Into the middle. And it's going to be brought back up. Shot is fired over top of Pilling's net. Now they settle it down. Sends it in. Shot that tipped away. Now they work for it. Here's Riley. In the corner. That's Brooklyn Riley. Up the seam. Here with 4:11 remaining, third period. And we may actually be pretty close to on time when all is said and done. Now it's taken all the way back across to the back corner. And a chip at it. Here come the Blizzard back to the middle. I'll play it cross ice. That does not work. In off the seam. That's quick chance. They'll take this. Back into the middle. Can you take this call, Cat? Back in. Trying to work at it. Down behind the goal. They'll send it cross ice. Back off the window. Shot. They score. Tipster on the board. And it's 5-1. Here in the game. And we have a goal which is scored by the center. Here it is. Perhaps Ashley Ross. I think so. That's out. Yep, that's exactly who it is. 3:11 remaining. Sends it across. Nothing there here with 2:58 remaining. This works back. Chance in front. Here's the shot. It's going to be controlled. 2:50 left. Works the cross ice shot. That's going to be wide of the goal into the corner. I'll play this back to the corner now. Working for it. Here they come. Bitch sends it in front. The Grave. Right back over. Trying to stutter step. Now it's going to be McKenna Riley. Back in here for Dana Poulton. Poulton right back to cross. This goes back to the middle now. 2:05 will be left in regulation of a 5-1 game. Tip scored on the goal by Ashley Ross. Now they try to scramble onside. Here's Joplin. Joplin works it. Now behind. Trying to settle back to the front of the goal. Nothing there again. Back in front as it's up the wall. Here's Crowswell. 1:38 to go here in the... So we're going to do the entirety of the post-game show on the next window, because we need some time to change everything over for our next game. So stay tuned for that. That will come up in a second. 1:18 to go in regulation of a 5-1 game. I'll send it around the net. Nothing there. They'll work at it. And we'll get an opportunity here to tell you 5 different goal scorers. Works it back over. And it'll be in the final minute here. Boff moves it up, shot. That's gloved by Dito. Face off to the right of Dito. The numbers should be coming through on your phone, Cat, for post-game interviews. Now they work it all the way around. 28 seconds remaining in the third period. Puck comes across. Works it down. Not an awful lot. Going right for the tips. Here's a shot at the buzzer that goes wide. 10 seconds left. Now they work for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End of hockey game. And the Blizzard will win this one 5-1. We'll keep an eye on the handshake line. Blizzard will lose for the 9th time in 10 games. Or the Tipsoy will lose for the 9th time in 10 games. And we'll have the post-game show on the other window coming up on Game Time TV. We'll be right back.